All right, welcome back to another episode of the Work Area Podcast. This is the sort of the Nash Motorsport update, the Warrnambool Classic review, and the Aussie Title preview show. As you can see, if you're watching online, we're doing it over the laptops tonight. But we got Cody and Bailey Nash jumping on to talk shit about everything that's been going on. This is the Platinum Tiger breakdown. Dil Panizza, obviously ripper fella, and he's my insurance broker. He's as good as you can get. If you need anything business related insurance, hit him up. But that's that done, boys. All right, I guess the update we need is probably from you boys first. And Cody, you won the 360 state title there, mate. That was elite. Like, I want to do it right off the bat because I've got it here. And you thanked Lorraine Leeson for the video and that, and I thought, like, your dad would have won stuff, your granddad would have won stuff, but they would never have had the ability to have those memories like you do with that footage of like infield and that. How sick is it, one, to win and to have footage like that to reflect on?
Yeah, it's probably the biggest moment of my life so far. So to have not just photos too, I think there's a photo of Dad winning a wingless state title. I don't even know what year, but he's standing on top of the cage and my granddad Des is in behind him. But it's it's a photo from 15 years ago. It's not the best quality, and it is just a photo. So having videos like that, obviously Rain does a wicked job, and I've made him multiple times since for getting it because now like, I'll be able to relive that. I'll be able to show my kid's due in a few weeks' time, so I'll be able to show him when he's older, and hopefully there's
When
plenty
he's
more to
older,
come as well.
in 2 weeks' time, you'll be showing a clip to him.
Fresh out of the womb.
Yeah, it's the first thing you see. Yeah. No, it was cool. Obviously, it's also nice to, like, whether I'm naive or whatever, I sort of had the belief in myself, and I even a little bit of success, but I sort of also look at it like I haven't really achieved anything until you win something like that. I feel like you can start saying you've achieved something. So obviously, it's a 360s. It would be nice to do it against more cars, but it was sort of sank in during the week afterwards that I still had to beat 4 or 5 previous state champions to do so. So it was, as the week went in, it probably sunk in a little bit more. But yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's one of those forever achievements, isn't it? Like 30 years' time, like, we're any good, you can go, I won a round 4 at Ellenbrook, but you can go, I won a state title. Like, it's a forever achievement.
Yeah, that's sort of like it's a little bit maybe a weight off the shoulder. I don't know if that's the right word to say, but just sort of like, I might not win everything or anything again. At least I've got a state title now. Obviously, it's cool, and I think maybe I'm a little bit older. Like winning Des's race in the wingless a few years ago, it happened like in the first or second season, and obviously that's to us as a family. That sort of probably nothing really beats that. I wish I said to Dad and whatever at the time, or a little bit later on, I wish it happened later, so I could appreciate it more. I think now winning something like the state title with 360, I definitely do realise how big of a deal it is. It's not a 410 one, and hopefully that is later on down the track, but yeah, it's still a 360. I've got the name of the trophies as well. There's a lot of cool names on there that I've joined, so it's pretty cool.
Bailey, I've been with you watching him race before. Pretty animated. What were you like on the infield there watching him come through?
Yeah, we'll up at that like turn 3 and 4 setting area with the whole team, and pretty much when he got to lead, we were going nuts, and then it felt a lot longer than what it was, but yeah, probably the last handful of laps we were just holding our breath, and then it went nuts right as it went across the line.
Did you reckon that slider was there? Like, were you saying throw it, and then he did, or how did that work?
I didn't think he was going to get as much of a good run as he did coming off 2, and then he just had to. So I thought Piggin would have thrown a bomb back, or would have been some challenge from one of the other guys, but yeah, I didn't expect him to drive away as much as he did either.
He obviously, Cody's expectations coming into the weekend is that he thinks he could win. What did you think he was going to do, Bailey, coming into the feature race? Obviously, he was starting up towards the front. Did you think he was going to do something?
I always thought there was a chance because, like, I just know how he races and whatever. But I think everyone obviously goes there trying to win, but it's rare that you do win, sort of thing. So I don't know. Like it was when you drop back to 4th off the start, it would have been like a bit slow, and then so all of a sudden it sort of got moving, and then it's all happened pretty quick.
The last thing on that one, Cody, how sick's the coverage that you got from it? Obviously, with Rain Leeson media stuff, it would have got thousands of views, I'm sure. But the SEN radio like replay, just like, I wouldn't say that's like quite mainstream, but it's something in it. It's like that's not normal. That's like and the next little step. How cool was that?
Yeah, it was cool. I obviously got a message from SEN Spirit. I think it was Jad, the guy that does all that. So I got a message from that, and then yeah, just to get him to do a 15-minute phone call. But that was when he played the replay of the commentary. I hadn't watched a replay of the race or anything like that, so it's the first time hearing the commentators doing that. So that's another thing like that's on Spotify. I'll be able to listen to that anytime in the rest of my life, just to reflect back on it. So that was pretty cool.
But just to get your results in, mate, obviously a little bit of a limited schedule in the limited. Fourth at the Motorplex there that night when obviously Cody came second and Joel won. How hard were you going that night to try and get on that podium? Obviously there was that restart. Like how did your night play out and I guess your sort of 5 laps towards the end?
Yeah, we pretty much just went into that race because like all start of season, we just having motor issues. Like my first race, I've only done 3 this season. First race was in Cody's, and then yeah, so that was our first race in my motor. So we're just kind of going there with no expectations, just to hopefully the thing lasted. And then yeah, I was in fourth for most of the race, and then just sort of accepted that. And then when there was a restart with 2 laps to go, I was like, well, I'm happy with either if I drop back as long as the motor holds up. So I was like, well, might as well just play on the top and see what I can do, and pick the guy up for third on the last lap.
Is it when you're worried about your engine like that? Is it a little bit eggshells, or you just put it to the floor and it is what it is? If it comes off, it comes off.
It was definitely eggshells the whole night up until that last 2 laps. I reckon from the restart, like rolling around on the caution, it was getting hot. I was like, oh, debating do I pull in, do I not? But then I just gassed up a little bit and watch it cool down. So then I just thought I was holding flat for the last 2 laps and figured it'd be all right.
That's pretty epic result for you boys, then, eh?
Yeah, definitely the first race together in that class, and yeah.
Is it annoying watching Cody have as good a year as he has, and then you've got engine issues and everything's a bit of a battle? Like, does it soften the blow a little bit that he's doing good, or does it just piss you off even more?
I think it makes me hungrier to want to race more and want to do better. Just because he's raced, I think, more times this month than I have the whole season. So, like, he's definitely got more laps under me.
That's his excuse too.
Yeah.
What about then? The next thing I wanted to speak about was almost how good your success is gone, Cody. I always thought about it with Dane Kingshot coming through the speed cars into the sprint cars, pretty successful, pretty quickly. Caden Manders, and now your success so quick as well. Probably Mikey Green. Do you think like the speed cars is the right pathway? Like you're obviously extremely green in the sprint cars, but do you feel like the speed cars was like the best apprenticeship you could have served heading into the sprint cars?
A little bit at the start, like had actually banned the word speed car on the first few race meetings because I kept trying to relay, oh, but in the speed car I did this, and Dad's like, you got to forget about that. You're going to drive this completely different, which I did after probably 3 or 4 races into this season. I started to get a bit more comfortable, use the wing and all that sort of stuff, which is now that I'm comfortable and I know how to drive a sprint car at least half decently with the wing and the fundamentals of it. There's actually things now that I learned with the speed car, how you can drive it, that I think it helps me a lot more on the 360 than limited, maybe with the extra horsepower. When I jam the throttle on, I've got the wheel spin there, and I can actually use that to drive. Whereas limited, I've struggled a little bit more. But honestly, from the 360, I felt more comfortable on that than I do with the limited. And I think that's got a lot to do with the laps that I did in the speed car.
Do you think there's something in that, Bailey? Just like sort of the best guys now in WA all have come from the speed cars. Do you think there's anything in that, or are Dane and Caden and Cody and Mike are just going to be the best anyway?
I think just watching the way you have to race a speed car, you have to race it aggressive, and which I think obviously that carries through into the sprint cars. But I think it's got to be more aggressive in the speed cars the way you race them. So I think that might help with just the driving style, I guess.
And what's your plans moving forward for the rest of this year then, Bailey? Obviously, with the limo, have you got that engine issue sorted? Do you reckon? Obviously, Geraldton. I couldn't see your name at Albany. Are you heading down to Albany?
No, I won't go to Albany anytime soon. I went there twice last year and flipped it both times. So
Oh, that's right.
I'll stay away from that track.
PTSD.
Yeah, no, I'll stick to all the Motorplex stuff, and then Yeah, I went to Geraldton because that's where our state title is, so just get some laps there. And yeah, I think we'll stick to the Motorplex. I think there's maybe 3 or 4 more shows at the Motorplex.
What about Geraldton, mate? I've heard some mixed reviews, Bailey, about Geraldton and the Wingo guys went up there and they were like, I don't know how that lasts for 2 nights for the Maddington round. And yeah, there's been some other races up there. Do you think it's going to hold the show fine? Can they turn the track around for the second night? How do you think it'll play out for the 410s when they head up there?
Well, I think from all reports, when like the meeting just gone that we had on the weekend was completely different to any other race they've had there all year or season. Like, I think the other week they had a race there and it just was a dust bowl, slick and whatever. But when we were there, it was in the heats. It was rough, like didn't slicken off at all. So I think if it's sort of like that, they smoothed it out for the feature and it was good. So I think if they keep the dust down and it keeps some moisture in there, I think it'll be all right.
What do you reckon, Cody? You reckon it'll be wicked for the 410s or will the track struggle?
I reckon Trump's with him. We're going to win, so I haven't seen any issue with it. No,
Yeah, you're the worst person to ask.
Yeah. It was like they completely changed the track for the feature, which I think if they find a way to have it from the start of the night, like wasn't rough, had a little bit of character and did start to slicken up. And obviously they had a bit of bugging in apparently. I can't remember a few years ago when Dad raced there. I was talking to Joe Brown and he was saying that obviously a lot is riding on these sort of tracks to get it right the first time, because if they don't, then I don't think that series would even look at it. So by looks of it, they obviously are trying things because it was polar opposite to early in the year when there was a meeting there. But if they can somehow find a happy medium between that, I think it will be good. It's obviously a tiny little ball ring, so you can put them some good racing and still some carnage too. But if they can find a way to smooth it out and make it a bit more balanced, then I think it'll be successful if they can, especially 2 nights. So that'll be a task.
All right, let's get into it, mate. The classic. Did you boys have a chance to rewatch it, or did you watch it live? How did the classic weekend play out for you boys?
I watched the first night. I didn't really watch much of the second night because I think we were racing that night, and then I watched the feature of the main night.
What's your biggest takeaway then, Bailey, from the weekend? Was there a driver or a race that sort of stuck in your head about how good that was? What's your biggest takeaway?
I think we'll touch base a bit when we go through like the classic review sort of the drivers and stuff. I think it's how Don Comaceto wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, he was that good. Hey, he was unbelievable.
Yeah,
What about you, Cody? Who impressed you the most, sort of, at first glance?
Yeah, I was on the Comaceto train as well. Even for just obviously over here, and then I think they did a meeting there earlier on, and he just dominated. Like, no one was running the cushion as hard as he was, and then obviously he's looking to be the same. I think the way that Wrightsville finished the feature race would have been how Comaceto ran the entire feature race as well. So yeah, I was on the Comaceto train.
Yeah, that was it. The international or the Warrnambool race prior to that, mate.
Yeah.
That was what did Toby Balboa on that sprint car hard record? A dick stomping. I've never heard that before, but it actually sounds like what he did, mate, because he was gone.
Yeah.
I think, I got some points here from the classic. Like, obviously, it's the 2 events now are high limit and that, and then they've obviously, credit to them, mate. They pumped up that prize money 75 next year and then 100K the year after, and it's a small town. Obviously, high limit comes to the Motorplex, and they've got the ability to garner a lot more stuff. It's a metro town and all the rest of it, government-owned facility. But yeah, small town like the Classic for the Warrnambool there to put up that prize money, mate. I've seen someone else put in there, Kyle Larson's coming next year then, but he could do the double in 2 years' time. Larson could win both, man. 200 grand in 3 weeks.
If anyone's going to do it, it would be him.
Mate, he could do high limit, Chili Bowl, the Classic.
He would win all 3, no doubt.
Yeah. But was it a bit flat for you boys with that crash in the feature race of the Classic with all those top fellas going out? Like, it sort of felt like the air went out the room a little bit for me, and it's all after that you're just like, a little bit flat. Is that how you guys felt?
Yeah. It definitely took the sting out of it. Because you got Comaceto just took the lead. You got J-Mac, who hadn't done a whole lot, and then obviously gets to something like the Classic, and of course he's going to be the fastest. And guys like Brett, I think Brett stayed in it, but obviously Jack Goodyear was coming. But Rob was sort of a really, really good race. It was still a good race in the end, and cool to see Silver. It did Rob was a real good race.
Yeah, those first 5 laps, J-Mac was leading. Cole Maceda got to the front, then like sort of half spun in the slick. Jock Goodger got to the front in the first like 4 laps. There was 3 lead changes. Oh, it was so sick early, and we still got a decent race in the end. But yeah, I was a little bit flat with that. But I guess one of my biggest takeaways was how good Jock Goodger was. I feel like, and I've seen it at Darwin. I feel like if there's a series McHugh could beat Goodger because he's a little bit more consistent, but Jock's got X factor, man. There's some nights that no one can touch him for speed, and I just feel like he would have more of those nights than Lockie McHugh for the two young guns sort of head to head. Yeah, I feel like Jock's raw speed, and you could see it. He's obviously got to the lead early in the classic, had the bingle. He stays in the car. J-Mac, the crew chief, comes out, starts ripping on it. Then he gets sent to the rear. He come back to 5th.
Yeah.
Like, that's such a huge drive in a car. Like, you seen that drag link. That drag link was cool. Like, yeah, I guess, yeah, just that blew me away, man. I was like, where's Jock back up to? Thinking like 12th or something like that. And then it's like, he's 8th. And then he kept coming and he kept coming. Like, that's a massive drive, Bailey. You reckon is that one of the most impressive things that you've seen, like, at the Classic this year?
Yeah, I reckon. Yeah, I think it's pretty hard to race with a bungled car, especially against that caliber of the field as well. And obviously, he was pretty animated in that onboard footage when he got taken out, and it seemed like just the way J-Mac first thing he does is get out to help another car get back on track and fight for the win, sort of thing. So yeah, I think it's a fair effort to go back to the rear and drive through the field with that car.
Mate, I'm just looking to see who he passed. He would have got sent to the rear. I don't know if he would have been behind, but out of the finishers, so he would have, at this stage, so Brad Morn, he would have got him, he crashed. Frost, Carson Macedo, he caught and passed him. Dukas, Luke Storer, Gunn, Marcus Dumsley, Hunter Schurenberg, James McFadden, Geordie Ray, Max Guilford, Matt Eagle, Caden Manders. He's come through all of them with a track, middle of traffic.
Yeah.
Like, that's a massive drive from him. Like, but yeah, I don't know. I was like, I wonder if he probably wins. But then Cole Macedo's ripping. J-Mac doesn't let anyone go without a fight. Like, Kerry, the old dog, mate, he was fired up. Like, and you seen how angry he was. Like, mate, that's his event. I went back and looked through results because I'll speak about someone in a minute, but I went through for like the biggest podium run, and it's Kerry. Kerry went 6 years being on the podium.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right.
Like, it's a huge run, mate.
Yeah.
So I feel like, and that's in a chunk. He's obviously got way more than that. Like, he's podiumed all the time. But yeah, I feel like Jock. If the race plays out, you just you can't tell. But I still feel Cole Macedo probably wins, given that performance that he did. If no one crashes, who do you boys sort of think would have won?
Cole.
I think the second Cole Maceda got to the front, he would have just run away with it.
He hammers, eh?
Yeah. And if he did, he's going to slip down the back straight doing it. But no, it was cool.
And we'll go through the winners in a minute. The other one, Lockie McHugh, this is who I did it with. He's sort of reasonably quiet, started out of 11th, got to 2nd?
Yeah.
3rd.
Yeah, 3rd, I think.
And then
I think he restarted in 3rd.
Yeah. And so a massive result for him, but that's 4 out of the last 5 years Lockie's been on the podium. And he's pretty young. I was a little bit surprised with that. I thought he'd be a little bit more given it's a classic. But then that's when I go back to, I feel like if Jock and him raced, he's so consistent. 4 out of the last 5 classics. He always wins the big events.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's a great result. He won't be stoked with it. He goes there to win. But 4, and so he's won, and then 3 podiums out of the last 5 years. That's a huge effort.
I actually thought he was going to probably run away with it after that restart. I think it was, I don't know where he was off the restart after the top 5 crashed out. And then now you'd see where he was top 3, I think. And now he's like, well, now Lockie McHugh just goes on and wins this now. Whereas I probably wouldn't have thought that. And obviously Wright's will come in. And even like Brock Hallett running that, when he puts his wing in the trunk and runs like the Donny Shots line. I actually thought that was going to be the way to go. But yeah.
What's he up to there?
Yeah,
That is
and even
crazy, eh?
his sideboard as well. The right sideboard's on some weird angle as well, and it's moved back and it works.
I sort of thought when I seen him doing it, is it taking rubber? Like
Yeah,
he's just running the guts. I was like, has he found the rubber 50 laps before anyone else? But no, that's just what he does. Like he did it on his prelim night, and
yeah.
that's how he won. Yes, and he's got a real good strike rate at the Classic as well. But yeah, exactly what you said. He run a completely different line to everyone else.
Which I kind of hope. Like, it was cool to see Wrightsall just bang the fence down the way he was, and obviously it takes balls to do it, but also it's like it's wicked to watch. But then to see someone like Hallett trying something new, even in that sense, like you'd think you're racing for the Classic, you got to be wide open. Well, Hallett's hunting him down, and I guarantee half throttle at most, finding the grip, just patient. So it kind of was rooting for him to try and to win it that way. Would have been cool to see as well. But also, they both won a Classic, so it was. I would like to see someone that hasn't won it before win it, like a Cole Macedo or preferably an Aussie. But there's when it was up to those two, I was sort of rooting for Hallett to try and get it done in that weird line.
Bailey, you reckon? Like obviously to be right to and run the wall and pound it, it takes balls. I actually reckon it would also take balls for Hallett to do something completely different to anyone else, driving a completely different matter. Because if it went bad, he would just look like an idiot.
Well,
But it didn't go bad. Like he tripped.
I think at the
Go.
start, first few laps, he went to the middle and got past by 5 cars around the top. And I think I even said to Dad, I was like, oh, he should just go to the top. And then I think that's when I said that is when all the top 5 crashed out. So I think like he did get past, and I think he just stayed to that. It's like he ran that line in for it to work later on.
Yeah, well, he started off pole, and then he was outside the top 5. But he either knows his car, knows the track, or just trusts his game plan. Like you reckon you've raced enough now, boys. Do you have to set your car up to actually do that?
I think it's easier. I think you would, but having be able to move the wing would make a big difference too. Like, obviously, in limiteds, I can't do that, but I think you'd be able to set it up to just move the wing back, and it would go well in the middle.
We've got the 360, we've got the wing ram, and any time I run that, my dad's purely set that up to say when the fuel load comes off, or like if you're doing it right, it definitely is a part of your game plan. And I sort of he never starts a race with his wing trunked back like that as well. And my sort of understanding is that's either you start with it all the way forward, so that if you miss the setup, at least you can tighten it up, or for what I think Hallett does, that is that the slicker it gets, the more that he knows he's got his car still, because you can always trunk back on that wing.
For me, it is cool that he did it, and I think it takes balls, but I still would rather someone ripping the boards to win, because I feel like that sells tickets. That's why people come in the grandstands. Like, yeah, like I know it's talent and it's skill and it's good. You have to have a good car to be able to do it, but bang the boards down. I reckon that's the way to get it done. That's what everyone's
Yeah.
on Mount Max to look at. I reckon.
Yeah, and they're happy to watch someone win it like that, but also they're all there for a spectacular crash too, and it usually goes hand in hand. You either win it or bin it.
Mate, plenty did. Last thing on the classic there, boys. Like, have you guys ever been?
Yeah, I don't know what year it was. Dad raced it, I think, definitely once, maybe twice, back with the Warrnambool deal when they did the World Series, but that was also, like, Bailey's probably too young to remember, and I barely have any memories from it either. It was quite a while ago.
Did he do anything?
Nah,
No,
crash.
I think he flipped, and I think he had issues in qualifying, so he didn't get a lap in or something as well.
No, actually, he did win a heat race. He's told us that a few times.
Really?
Yeah,
That's
he won
all
a heat
right.
race. Yeah.
Well, the inverted one.
Yeah, inverted. Yeah.
Non-qualified.
Like the thing that impressed me the most, and I did it. It also pissed me off. I did this reel like about how strong the fields are at the Motorplex, like just on a nothing Saturday, whatever. Not that it's nothing like a Western Appalachia, not like a Blue Ribbon, right? How strong the fields are throughout the entire Motorplex. Had like heaps of feedback for messages and stuff like that from people over east, like laughing at me and I'm biased and all that sort of stuff, and other sort of media types sort of having a crack as well. 4 out of the top 10 were WA teams to start the race. So J-Mac, Brady Motorsport, Cole Macedo, Highline Motorsport, Kerry Madsen, S&D Motorsport, Dane Kingshot, Cricky Motorsport. So 4 out of the top 10 at the Classic are WA teams. There's obviously the crash. Those boys get taken out. To finish the race, we've still got 4 out of the top 10. we got the Wrightsville, the Mondi Motorsport car, Dane Cricky Motorsport, Caden Manders, huge result for him to storm to 6, Dan Golding Racing, and then obviously J-Mac back in 10th. So it's like so we make up 4 out of the top 10 just of our local shows. Like that, I feel like that's sick for the series and the local, but like for someone like you, Cody, trying to race that's shit.
Oh yeah, that's what I can look forward to is that. But it is cool though. Like you look at that though, it's obviously anyone that's trying to do this series sort of high level, like you want to be able to race against the best. So obviously we're lucky enough over here that we've got the best facility in Australia and one of which it's said by all the Americans one of the best in the world. To then also have constantly the best drivers too. That if you're getting your ass kicked, well, then you can say you're getting your ass kicked by the best. But if you go out there and get a good result, well, you get a good result against the best too.
But in saying that, so I'm sucking up to us. There's only been, from what I can see, one WA driver to ever podium the Classic. Ryan Farrell come third in like 2000.
Yeah, right. So ages ago too.
I was like, so I actually think it's a massive result for Dane, given the experience. He come fourth. Like that's a huge result. You can see how hard it is.
He's been the best from over here. Obviously, he won at Tolmar at the start of their sort of trip over, and he's been the one from WA that's actually got the results night in, night out. Like he's constant at the front. He's not up and down anymore, and obviously he hasn't been doing it for too long. But even I think you go back to the Aussie Title last year, he was running for a podium, and at times looked like he could have won it. So that goes to show there that he's not just the best guy in WA. He's now one of the best guys in Australia.
Bailey, you're watching all this sort of races, and who's the driver you always sort of look for or go for? Is there someone like whose style you like, or like who's your sort of favourite driver at the moment?
Well, I think for style wise, it's probably Callum, just because the way he pounds the fence at the Motorplex, that's what we both like to do. So I think for that sake, Callum. But I think for probably Dane, just the way he changes his lines, the way he's like, you can see him always trying to do stuff, and I think he's a calculated driver that I like to watch too.
I tell you who's grown on me, Cole Macedo.
Oh yeah,
didn't really
definitely
have too much at the Pigden in his first year. Didn't know much. Obviously, had a little bit more to do with him. Had dinner with him at Bobby Marlowe's house one night, and mate, the bloke, I got my golf hat on. The bloke plays scratch golf.
Of course.
An absolute rooster, and just smashes them at the Classic, mate. It's unbelievable. Rip it, fella. But yeah, he grew on me. I find like his phone's going to be going off for next year if it isn't already, or I'm not sure what deal he's got going on. But yeah, I feel like he did himself absolutely no harm this summer. Like he was as fast as anyone, as good as anyone, speaks well, presents well, drives like exactly like Callum, I feel like, but obviously beat him most nights as well. So yeah, he's really impressed me. What anyone jumping off the page over this sort of summer period so far for you, Cody?
Yeah, I was 100% on the Cole Macedo train as well. Just the way that, like, he knew what he was doing to American coming over and then couldn't stop saying how much he loves Perth and being here. And just constantly, like, you could tell he's having a good time, which is easy to have a good time when you're winning and you're going fast. But he knew what he was doing. But even every time he was on the track, like, if it was to pound the fence as hard as you possibly could, well, he was doing it harder than anyone. But then the same sort of thing, he could move around and wasn't a one-trick pony. And maybe like Buddy Kofoid too, like he had the speed as well. Like that was to be able to watch these guys. Corey Day, how ruthless they are in traffic too. Just obviously that's the way that they race over there, and hopefully that sort of translates over here. The more that happens, because that's probably where a lot of the carnage really comes from. Is that people don't know when to sort of give and take a little bit, but just obviously saying all the American guys at the top level to see them at our track, then I don't know, we come from iRacing before doing anything, so you visualise it, whether it's naive or whatever, you think you can go and replicate it. But it's sort of like you see these guys obviously at the highest level do it. Well, then, we can go on tracks like that. It's like, well, Tom will see it from the outside, look like this, and try and translate that to when we sit in the seat. Probably in the tears, but it's worth the crap.
Mate, how long ago does it seem that we watched Buddy and Corey Day? Like, that seems like last year. Well,
Yeah,
obviously it
yeah,
was
technically
last year,
was,
but
yeah.
it seems like a year ago, eh?
Yeah, ages ago, yeah. There's been a lot of racing.
Crazy. All right. I just got to do my segments. Obviously, I'll play the segments at the start, but yeah, the sponsors that have jumped on the pod and helped me out. I want to do the segment for them. They've helped me. I need to help them. Bunbury Toyota, obviously Ryan Cricky and the team down there. Anything used parts, used cars, new cars, whatever you need, get down and see him and the team. They'll sort you out. The best on. We'll just do the classic. It's going to be a bit too hard, but the out and out, which it's sort of a rarity. I don't know. Usually it's just a winner, but I just don't know if I can give it to Aaron Wrightsell. But I feel like the out and out best on driver throughout the classic for me, I'm going to do J Mac. I feel like started off outside front row. You can't get there on accident. Brock didn't look faster than him. Maybe he had a few more tricks up the sleeve in the heats and stuff and got better results. But I feel like J-Mac off the front row at the Classic, given the year he's had, he looked amazing. He looked like he could move. He looked like he was ripping the fence. And then you throw the shit in, obviously, with at high limit. He helped out Dane Kingshot with the headers and drilled it out. But then to see him out of the car that fast and you can see he knew that right rear went sort of in towards Jock's cab, so that's why he's jumped out initially. And just to rip that drag link out, shit like that, and then he restraps in his own car and gets back to 10th. I feel like J-Mac deserves a pump up with that because he's leading the race 30 seconds before that. And then he's pulling off like Jock. So for me, J-Mac was sort of the best on. Yeah, not sure if you boys have anyone different, but I'm happy to hear it.
Bars.
I had Tom Macedo. Just I think if that there's a lot of what ifs and whatever in especially racing, especially in that race too. I think if he just didn't get caught up in that, I didn't see anyone beating him, and yeah, he just looked too quick to get past, I reckon.
It's a fair point because how the track ended up for the last 15 was how the track was when he absolutely blitzed everyone.
Yeah.
And Cole switched on. Cole works on his own car. I know he had other crew chiefs in that there, but I know he knows his car. He sets it up for one thing. He would have got his car even better. And that whole night was just R&D for that night. So yeah, I feel like fuck, it would have been so sick to see them duke it out, mate. J-Mac, Jock, and Cole. Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
Cole, Messina. Who you got, Cody?
I think
I figured Bailey was going to have Cole, so.
this is the shit thing on this thing.
It's
There's just
delayed.
delay. Whatever. We'll get it. Go, Bailey. You're on. What'd you say?
I think this and how the track was in the last 10 laps, I think that's would have been Cole's favour too. I think he's really good pounding the wall too. The way that Wrightsell was doing it, Cole probably would have been able to do it better. I was just adding to my point.
Yep.
Yeah, I figured Bailey was going to say Cole because we didn't stop talking about it the whole time. So I know I had J-Mac just because purely he's just one way just to get it done. He's been there a million times before. I'm sure that early in the race he wasn't too fussed about Cole. He probably was happy to let Cole, bang the fence down and potentially make a mistake, and he probably was just going to match his pace, so it really mattered. So I'd probably have J-Mac as well. But then also it is cool to see that obviously he's won all these sorts of things, so it's probably less pressure for him. So obviously him to get out and help Jock, and I think it's just cool to see from a guy that's probably gone and put Australia in the map. Probably a wicked role model for anyone, all of us that striving to achieve half of what he has, to then be able to show that you don't have to be an arsehole to do it too.
Mate, even doing this, I don't feel right that it's like Aaron Wrightsell's not in the conversation. You know what I mean? The bloke won it, and so. And it's probably fucked for him because he says he has a car to win it. He wasn't saying he had a good car unless he actually had a good car when he was over here either. So if he says he had a good car, I believe him. But yes, for Aaron to not even be in the convo at this point, it doesn't feel right. But I wonder if he probably could give a shit, mate, once the check's clear. But I wonder if even for him, it'd be annoying for everyone having a conversation like what we're having. We obviously do it and but this conversation's happening in the pits or in the crowd, like in everyone's homes afterwards anyway. Like, you reckon that would piss Aaron off, or he just wouldn't give a shit? The trophy's in his thing, and he gets to keep the suit. Did you boys hear that bit?
Yeah, I did. He did. There was obviously, yeah, a little bit of a jab there, but I don't really give a
Yeah.
shit. At the end of the day,
No.
he gets the money, he gets the trophy, he gets the beer tastes just as good, whether you win no matter what. So obviously, I think it's probably more so. He's strikes really doesn't give a shit what people think anyway. So I think it's more so just it is the conversation of the people who've if they didn't crash out, you wouldn't have won it. But obviously, like you said, he wasn't pumping up his car unless it was real good when he was over here and whatnot. And he did pump it up, saying that I think he said doesn't matter if they crash out or not, he was still a chance, and he did come on quick. So
Mate, while we're here, little shout out to the team. They've had a pretty dogged run. They won at Bunbury, but there hasn't been too much in between. But I know Alex Robertson, obviously there, Jake Robinson's brother. He's a crew dude. He's up there. Neil Kelly, the crew chief, flicking him a message. Doesn't reckon he's done enough to get a spot on the pod, but I was like, bullshit. Like, but yeah, Neil, we need you on here, mate. We'd love to have you on. So yeah, get in here. And even Luch Monty, mate. 8 classics he's won.
that's crazy. It's a good
And
theatre
not
watching
like,
him all pumped up too. That was cool.
oh yeah, just those clips in the crowd of like him screaming and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Like, and then he's giving it this one. They did, man. I thought he was going to rip that fence down. You know, when they're waiting at the thing, I was like,
Yeah.
he'll
Yeah.
boot this down, mate. Like,
Yeah.
there's Luch Monty. He'll kick this fence down. He's coming on. But no,
Yeah.
but yeah, just weird. But I'll split it between Cole and J, mate, then for the Bunbury Toyota, best on. The next, mate, the jolly good auto electric spark up, someone who had just an absolute dog shit run of luck. I guess you could probably spin it to Cole as well, but I'll start with you, Cody. Who's your spark up? Someone. So this award's for someone who showed some speed, but luck probably wasn't on their side, or whatever you decide. Who have you gone for?
I actually originally thought Cole because of that, but then I'll go the other Macedo and go Carson because obviously their weekend ended nearly before it even started with the motor issues. But then the speed he had in his prelim night to come from the back, even when they did some track prep and it was hooked up and hard to pass, he somehow still did. And obviously, I think he ended up flipping in the feature on the last night or whatever it was, purely just from going so hard, which he wouldn't have had to if he was able to have a good run at it. I think I originally had Cole because of that, but then sort of thought a bit deeper into the weekend, it's probably Carson.
Mate, how many cars has he passed since like Boxing Day?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my! He's been in more B mains in the last month than his last 10 years, I reckon.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he rips that thing, mate. To watch him drive, how he clearly wasn't stoked on the car the entire time he was here, and you can even hear it in his interview in the track afterwards, where he's just sort of like, well, that's what I had. I couldn't do anything with the car. There was only one line for me. It was pound the fence. And
Yeah.
I felt like he tried to ruin that car every night he went out there driving it as hard as he can to rinse every single ounce of speed out of it. And yeah, he drove real good. So that's a wicked one. Who you got, Bailey?
I had Cole or Jock, and then I was thinking, probably just Callum. I think if any incident, I think Callum was caught up in it somehow or some way, and I think I just settled with Callum.
Yeah, fuck.
Yeah,
Carl's
not
had
even
a
just the classic, just a lot of
horrendous
time over
time.
there.
I'm sure he's looking forward to coming back to the Motorplex.
Mate, I got one a little bit out left field, mate. My little spark up, Ian Madsen. Oh, he didn't back
Yeah.
up.
Oh.
Mate, he wanted a bit of smoke. He's coming up to Tim Kading and he started getting it. Mate, as soon as Tim turned around, Ian had something to go back and check on the car pretty quickly.
It's like he remembered who he was trying to shape up to for a second.
Oh, mate, I thought he like a marin out of a trap. He went just backed up. You watch the replay. If you actually watch the replay on that old Ian, mate, he's sobered up pretty quickly there, I reckon.
Yeah, 100%.
That's who I've got. Who are we going to go with for that one then? We got Madsen. We got Williamson. And probably not Madsen because then he might actually see it at some stage and get filthy at me. So
I'm sticking by Carson because I think he's probably someone that definitely had a chance to win it if it went his way. Yeah, I think.
And you reckon he's coming over to Australia thinking I'm just going to run every B main pretty much? No, mate, that's
No,
not what he thought
God,
was
no,
happening.
no.
And
He was
seeing
coming
little
over to win.
brother,
Yeah,
and he touches Cole up most nights over there,
yeah,
and you thinking if I had my car here, boys.
yeah.
But
Right.
unlucky he didn't. But
Yeah,
JNS Drilling, obviously John McClellan and the guys there, Keith Giles, obviously. Yeah, maybe the car just didn't gel with him. I know it's good gear and I know it's good stuff, and I know I'll pull the piss out of them. I don't want them to think that I don't think highly of them, because I really do. And yeah, if Carson doesn't want to drive it, then Nick Rowe will. The QV Bright Light. Sort of someone who impressed you over the journey there, boys. The sort of the rising star, or someone who drove a lot better than what you thought this time. Yeah, obviously this is QV. This is Dan Golding. Yes, said yes pretty much straight away when I asked him to jump on board, and he obviously had Caden in the feature, so he'd be stoked that Caden's moved forward to a 6. So massive result for them. But the QV Bright Light, who have you got for me, Bailey?
I had Max Guilford, the New Zealander.
Yep.
I think I
Yeah, good.
didn't,
All right.
never heard of him until he come over here, and obviously he was the NZ champion, and I think I think he finished 8th in the feature for the classics, and it looked like he had some speed and qualifying a few nights there, and yeah, I thought that was just something different.
I think you mean the Aussie.
Well,
apparently not.
no, sorry, yes, Aussie for this year, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I rate that. And obviously, if you want to jump on his social media, Max has hell good social media. Like all their videos are real good. I know they heard 2 engines at least. Yeah, they do. They do little videos on that. It's like not just that junk of just like the random stuff. His is actually entertaining, and you want to watch it. Seems like a ripper. He drives really good. He drove good at like Tolma. Drove good everywhere. So yeah, I feel like he's got plenty in him. Who you got for me, Cody?
Uh, Bradley Vaughan, I think he's driving
Yeah.
the old Luke Dillon car.
Yep.
I think yeah, I'd never heard of him, probably because it's his first bloody year in a 410 sprint car. And I think he was up front in the prelim night. He was running maybe the top 5 or close enough to on the final night there. And obviously, it's my first season the sprint car. I get to drive a 410, and that is, so for him to be able to go and do that, still young, at the highest possible level, is like, yeah, super impressive.
I think did he start 4th?
Yeah, I think he's starting the first 2 rows, yeah.
Yep, yeah, I reckon he started 4th. Yeah, that is a huge result, and from a somewhat budget team too. I think, like, obviously there's not really too many budget 410 teams, but comparatively, I think that's a family-run deal, and they just do their best with what they have, and obviously he runs TA2 and stuff like that as well. But yeah, that's a ripper. Like, yeah, I feel like, is he younger than? I wonder how old he is. That Guildford doesn't look too old either, but both of them are real good results.
Yeah.
But my one, Jai Corbett, I feel like he obviously went to America, but has to be fair been in like nowhere for a little bit. I feel like I felt like he was an Australian young gun, and he's going to do a heap, and he hasn't done much like last year. But I feel like throughout this sort of period over there, over East, Tolma and things like that, I feel like he started to really put some speed together. Started to put it good. He started up front as well. I think he started top 6. Obviously, pulled in with maybe an engine or something, because I couldn't see any damage on the cars, and he didn't cause a red or a yellow. So I think he pulled in. But yeah, obviously Jai Corbett. Hear plenty of good things about him as well as a person. But I feel like yours two are better than mine. So I don't know. You want to play rock paper scissors, Guildford or Vaughan?
You pick him.
We took my last one, so we can give it to Bailey.
Okay, so Bailey's got it. Guildford, easy. Yeah, he
The
was a
Aussie.
ripper. Car looks sick too.
Yeah.
But mate, don't be bringing the Silver Fern into the title. You can't be running the Silver Fern graphics. Get rid of that. He's an Aussie now.
Yeah,
He's
talking
smart.
about he'll embrace it. He'll embrace the Aussie.
Yeah, well, boys, I'm flying over. I'm flying over tomorrow night.
You
I'll
let
have
us
a look
know.
myself. I will. I'll have a chat to him and I'll tell him that's no good, mate. Rip that off. All right. With the obviously Borderline Speedway hosts this year's 2026 Australian title, two Aussie titles in the same year. Essentially, we've got, because it's at Toowoomba in maybe December or November. But you boys have raced enough now. They run pretty much the same field minus the Americans, so it's a weaker field for the Australian title. Not 2 weeks after they've just held a sort of a blue ribbon event. You reckon is it the King's Challenge? Do you think you can take anything away from how the people's form their cars, or are all these teams good enough to learn from that night, and they all be back to an even playing field come Australian title time?
Yeah, I reckon it's hard though because the top teams are constantly at the top. Like I think Lockie McHugh won it. Howard might have been up there as
Yep.
well. It
Yep.
seems to be that at these sort of tracks, the same guys are always there. I think you throw in like a James McFadden will always find a way. Bigger race at Borderline, he's won countless speed races there. There'll definitely be improvements from some teams. I also think the top teams that are always good there are just going to keep continually being good there.
So minus the Americans from the King's Challenge result, this is the Australian order went Lockie McHugh, Kerry Madsen, Luke Storer, Brock Hallett, Matt Eagle, Daniel Pesca, Ian Madsen, Parker Scott, Glenn 20, and Dylan Menz. That would be the top 10 based off of that night, mate. When I say Glenn 20, Glenn Sullivan, imagine if it was Glenn 1, the hometown hero.
Yeah,
Glenn 1,
it's the
man, that'd be
place
that
alive.
good. My
Yeah.
man Kent Collins on the tools. He better be on the tools anyway. But yeah, we'll come over. You boys will meet Kent Collins. Hopefully, we can get him on the pod. He's a ripper fella. Helps out Glenn 20 on the tools. He's a Fink top 4 at Fink.
Yeah, right.
Is a king. Yeah, I think he would have like 5 top 10s at Fink, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Another.
he's a legend, mate. He's a legend. So yeah, Kent will be on the tools. I'll be sort of floating around with him. But yeah, that would be the top 10 if the Americans got taken out of the last one. But with the little bull ring, Bailey, you've just raced Geraldton. Do you think the cream rises to the top easier at a bull ring like Geraldton, or or is it like more susceptible to random results? Like, what do you think, or is it always the same?
Well, not for Geraldton because Cody won it, so not the cream rise at the top. No, I think it is though because a
Fair,
little
fair.
boring. It takes so much more finesse and just to a Perth Motorplex where it is just wide open around the top. So I think it will be cream riser to the top. A little boring for sure.
But with those little tracks, does it make it a lot harder to get around people, or is it easier to get a decent run?
If it's wide enough, then it probably might be. I don't know. It has its elements because obviously it's probably easier to make a mistake on a little boring, so you can sort of easier to pass people if they make mistakes, but also because they are so tight, you can't just send a big slide job in like you would at the Motorplex.
Yeah, like if you think about Luke's story, I don't know if he's watched this night, but he ran around the top of everyone. I reckon he went from 8th to I think he finished 4th in the end, or maybe 3rd. I can't remember. But yeah, he passed a lot of people on the top. Like he was one of the only people running to the top. Have you guys ever been to Borderline? Nothing recently.
No. Same from the same time when Dad was racing World Series
Yeah.
years ago.
What about your top 5? This is one of your homework. I've got some other little things here, but who do you think your top 5 is? And I might make something of this, so you got to be pretty sharp. I'll start with you, Bailey. Give me your top 5. Are you going from 5th to 1st or 1st to 5th? No, you got to go 5th to 1st.
I've got Brock Hallett at 5th. I've got Kingshot at
Yep.
4th. McFadden 3rd. Jock 2nd. And Lockie McHugh winning it.
Yep. Okay, yeah. So rattle that off again, just so I can get it.
Hallett?
No, I'll do that at the end. I'll do that at the end to make it easier to grab it. Cody, who you got?
From 5th to 1st, I got Luke Storer 4th.
Yep.
I got Madsen 4th. I got Hallett 3rd. And I've just swapped it because Bailey's got McHugh to win it. I'll go McHugh 2nd and McFadden to go back to back.
Okay. All right. My one is weird. I got Luke Storer 5th. I got Kerry Madsen 4th. I got Matt Eagle 3rd.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like he always turns up. Then I think J Mac 2nd and Jock Goodger 1st. I feel like Jock's yeah, Jock's been steaming and his luck's got to turn. And yeah,
I
yeah,
think
that's
someone like
me.
Jock too, like obviously he took the lead at the Classic and potentially can win that thing, and I'm sure they would have thought they could win that thing with the car that they had. He's probably, like you said earlier, like the X factor side of things. He's someone that I can see using that like sort of pain from that and thinking, fuck it, I'm just gonna go win the Aussie title now and going to get it done.
Yeah, yeah, because he's a dog, man. Like I love seeing how angry he was and like the swearing and all that. I love seeing that in that clip because
Yeah.
it's like these people aren't out here just fucking around. Like
No.
they're out there risking life and limb, dedicate every minute of their life to doing this. Like in terms of having a business and putting all their money into it. Like everything they've got's going in. Like they're not there to stuff around. It's wicked to for like a fan to be able to get a quick glimpse into what it means to these two. It's like he's losing it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Really punched a hole for the rock screen.
Yeah.
All right, so winning. I've got Jock Goodjar. Bailey, who do you have?
Winning Lockie McHugh.
And Cody, you've got J Mac back to back.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll see. That probably is the podium. To be fair,
Yeah, that'll be top three.
Either one of those three is probably the favourite.
hopefully we just get a race and we get to actually see him have a race. But yeah, I think that'll be wicked if we can just see him actually battle. All right, my little segment. I'm going to throw at you cold turkey because I wanted it. Your Smokies. I'll start with it. So just almost like the QV Bright Light. We had Guildford and that. I've got two Smokies in here, that I've been watching and keeping an eye on them since Darwin. I got Daniel and Luke Storer. Obviously, Luke, brand new to it, mighty wingless racer, but again, come out of the speed car ranks as well. So I feel like there's something in that. These speed car dudes coming out and doing really well straight away. But yeah, Daniel and Luke, obviously Luke won Chariots, which is just a massive effort. Daniel would have had a good one as well, but like he tore a car up and they worked on that car. I think they had 3 porta powers, a welder, grinder, everything. Like this is during the heats. Like I should know his name, but he's a fella from Victoria who jumped in and helped him out. But so Daniel heard a car there, but he was flying as well. Like you can just watch in quick time how hard those boys drive. I feel like they both had some massive results. Luke's obviously gone to the Chili Bowl and yeah, he's done good. Like obviously the King's Challenge, but Daniel's also had some really good results around that Warrnambool area and over their speed week. Like they've shown some massive amounts of speed. And again, Daniel just races for the family team. I'm not sure what the backing's like there, but it's obviously not going to be as big as the big teams. But I feel like these two boys, they're brothers, obviously like yourselves, but yeah, I think Daniel and Luke are going to be set for a massive title and feel like that they'll open some eyes and show a heap of speed and do something pretty special in a race or two for themselves. What's off the cuff? Who do you boys have?
I think Luke Storer as well. That's why
When you ask the
I've
question,
got him in the top
Luke
5
Storer
here
well.
because or even obviously I think Luke Storer is generally like, especially going off the last time, rather on the outside like he was, and he's had results from chariots all the way up. Like he's probably generally a smoky to win it, and I think someone like a Bradley Vaughan again, assuming he's running it, he's like let's say a podium for a top 5 or a smoky just again in his rookie year. If you could do that at the Classic, against 6 or 7, whatever it was, Americans, take them out of the field, well then I think he's probably a smoky for a top 5 as well.
You can speak now, Bailey.
Thanks. Yeah, I think right as you asked the question, Luke Storer popped into my mind. So I think go with Luke Storer.
Yeah, there isn't anyone else. I feel like Dylan Menz has actually been pretty good. Like he's been driving a lot better. He's not just had top 10s. He's had some top 5s, so he's really good. I think that Daniel Pesca will be fine around there. Parker Scott came to mind. He's a local fella. But Glen 20, mate. Glen 20 is ripping at the moment, mate. That's where my heart's with. So, but yeah, I think Daniel and Luke Storer, mate. That's who are mine. And there's one other I want to touch on, and I have a little bit of knowledge about him. Again, I sort of come across him properly for the first time in Darwin and seen how good he actually is. barely noticed him over this whole period. If you told me he didn't run the Classic, I wouldn't even be surprised. But Jordan Charge, I feel like
Yeah.
Jordan was unbelievable up in Darwin, and at a quick glance and probably a simplistic view of it, Darwin and Borderline must be reasonably similar. But he was like a full bulldog up there. Like he drove hard, he drove real good. He had heaps of tricks up the sleeve. Would run the bottom, he pounds the top. But I just did not notice him at all over the Classic, and I'm assuming he did run. But yeah, I feel like Geordie's gonna turn it around. I feel like he could have a massive Australian title as well.
It'd be interesting to see what car he's in because I think he won sometime over this period. I think he won an Avalon meeting potentially earlier on, and he was in the 60 something car, like the blue, white, red car that he usually
Yep.
runs. I feel like he's probably, I mean, he runs the NT11 in Darwin and has a lot of speed there. I think at the track down here, or not here, but over there, he seems to probably have a little bit more success in that 60 car or whatever number it is that he usually runs.
You got any thoughts on him, Bailey? Do you watch much of Geordie?
I watched it. Well, noticed him a fair bit when he was up and down. I think he won a few times there, but yeah, haven't. I think he's been a bit quiet since that sort of period. I reckon.
What might turn you boys is obviously Glenn Beaton jumps on the tools and sort of when Taylor Milling's not running, he helps other people out. But Beato's jumped in with Geordie Charge and that team for this period. I feel like that's sort of why I know him a little bit. Beto said that he was coming over to help him, and I feel like Beto had Taylor Milling flying that last race. Whittle went heaps better. Like Whittle hasn't had any great results to speak of. He's had some unlucky stuff over East this time, but he's actually been fast. But he just said like he quick timed the Classic.
I was saying he's clearly
Like,
fast if he got the fastest lap or however that works. Yeah.
yeah, so Beto obviously jumps in and helps people. I feel like, and I know he likes Geordie as well, so they'll work together well. I feel like he'll make sure the car's absolutely Mickey Mouse. Jordan drives like an absolute bulldog. I feel like Geordie will be good. Beto and the Slades will sort him out, mate. They'll be fine. What are you boys? Oh, you'll be racing, eh, Cody?
Is that this weekend?
Yeah.
No, we're pulling out of Albany. We're
Oh,
pulling out. Yeah, Mrs. is due within the next sort of 3 or so weeks, and she's done it too many people lately that have had 3 weeks early. So
yeah.
Albany's a little way to go, and we've raced. I've raced like 11 or 12 times this season, and the last 4, maybe 5 weeks in a row. And then if all goes well, the following week it's a Friday, Saturday night. Friday we'll run the 360, pull the motor out, put the limited in for the Saturday. So I thought I'll give us a weekend off and stop. Like the team's worked real hard, and yeah, it's just another limited show. We're not chasing points or anything for the season, so we'll call it now. And so it'd be nice to enjoy a weekend off, and obviously works out well. I love watching the Aussie title.
Yeah, I can't wait. I'm flying over for the first time. Head over tomorrow, and I'll be at Mount Gambier first thing Friday morning, and yeah, I'll be hanging around the track the whole time. I thought when you said you're pulling the engine out there, mate, I was hoping you're going to say.
No, hopefully we'll see what happens. And obviously we don't have a 410 ourselves. We're potentially working on trying to get one together, and if not, maybe we'll try and lease one for the last few shows. We want to definitely try and at least put one in and just get our feet wet so we all know what we're sort of up for. And there's no real sort of plan for next season as of yet. Obviously, we keep doing what we're doing, whether that means just do 360, fill in 410 or whatever it is yet. But we still got to find a motor package and something like that. So we don't want to muck around doing it. So
You feel like you could do it. Like I watched you at Ellenbrook on that sort of first night you did, and you were okay. Like it was your very first night in the car, I think, or whatever it was. Yeah, it was actually. But fast forward, what, 2 months, and you win and you've been okay in a limited, and then you win a 360 state title in 2 months. Like, surely you feel like you'll be able to handle it. I know, I don't reckon Mikey Green would have come near you in a speed car. Like, he's a good driver and all that, but like, I don't think he would have you would have battled him in a speed car. You've seen what he can do. He's been flying. He's 5th, 6th. Like, surely you feel like you can do it.
Yeah, I definitely, and again, that's whether it's naive or whatever, but it worked for me so far. I just used to do it all in iRacing and then try and it's supposed to look like this as long as it feels like that, and then yeah, I think that's what I think winning the 360 title was sort of a little bit of weight off my shoulders in the sense of like I believe in it, whether it's my belief was I rocked up to that state title and I was like, if I don't win this, then I'm sick of coming second and third and getting podiums and having speed. Like I actually want to just achieve something now. So that was sort of like I was waiting for it to sink in a bit more, but then it never really fully did. And I sort of was speaking to Dad and it's like, well, that's what I expect. This is what I sort of feel like I should be. So I'm hanging out for the time that we do get the Bolter 410 in, and that'll just be a telltale sign. I feel like I can drive the 360 not like a speed car because they're completely opposite, but a lot of things of driving a speed car on the ragged edge, having the throttle there when you need it, translates more to a 360 for me. So, I mean, I might be completely wrong and get my ass kicked straight away, but I also feel like if it translates that far to a 360, well, then it's sort of the same sort of thing can apply to a 410, which, I mean, I want to try and do it sooner rather than later so I can either say, well, yep, that's whatever, with a wing over my head, it feel comfortable and it's going to work. And if not, well, then I want to know so I can work on it. And when we do jump to doing full 410s full time, what for.
What are you? Is it locked into your team? Like, if you got a phone call, would you be open to that?
Yeah, like we don't have a 410 at the moment. Like if there was a phone call to say, come on 410 for the weekend, and yeah, absolutely. Like, I know that the backing that I've got from my whole friends and family, and obviously my father-in-law, who is the team owner, the car owner, all he wants for me is the best opportunity, which he has given me. And we are going to go to 410s in our own deal until we know that we've got everything we need to. And I mean, Dad done it at the highest level with a 3-car team for Warrnambool, so he knows what it takes, and he's not going to let us do that until we're fully set up. Because you see so many people that jump the gun and tear some gear up, and then they disappear, and you don't see them again in the 410s. Whereas when that's obviously the plan for Bailey down there as well, but sort of like without my deal currently, it's if I'm racing a 410 in that team, it's because we are set up enough to do it properly for 5+ years. Because I say obviously it's a 5-year apprenticeship, so if it takes me 2 years to get to being able to do 5 years, if that makes sense. But also, if I get an opportunity to race the 410 sprint car at any time, I'm going to say yes, 100%. And I know I've got the support and backing to do that as well.
And what about you to finish off, Bailey? What's the rest of the year look like for you, and what are you trying to do?
Yeah, the rest of the year just be just limiteds and hopefully work on something better next year. And if that's maybe another season of limiteds, or maybe try to go to a 360, who knows? But I think still be a few years until I run with big dogs.
What about the wingless title, mate? Is there any itchy feet to get back in the wingo, or we intimidate you too much when you watch those feature races?
Bit carnage, isn't it? Nah, I was actually talking to someone today.
What?
Yeah, I was talking to someone today, and they offered me to race their wings in 2 weeks on the Wednesday. And I think that's the weeks where we're racing, so I was like, no, I can't do that. And then they want to put me in for Des's race, which is, I think that's the Wednesday, the before or after the Aussie title. But he goes, I wouldn't mind missing out on the Aussie title. I said, I couldn't do it anyway because I have to do, I think, 3 wingless races beforehand.
Yeah, okay. All right. Yeah. All right, well, that's us, boys. We are done. Obviously, I'm going to put it out here now. It's like a soft launch for me. I'll be at Mount Gambier. If anyone's listening and wants to do an interview, flick me a message because I fucking hate walking around the pits looking like a dickhead with a camera. So if you can flick me a message, it makes it easier. And because otherwise, I'm half a chance to pull out. I'll go drink beers with the 2 because I'm on the mud scraper for the 2 this weekend, I reckon. So yeah, if anyone wants to do something, flick me a message. Saves me walking around like a dickhead. But all right, cheers for your time, boys. Don't hang up. I think I just pressed stop here, but yeah, really appreciate your time. Great season for you boys so far, and surely plenty more. Cheers.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.